This is J. Krishnamurti's third discussion with teachers and students at Brockwood Park, 1979.
What shall we talk about? No suggestion?
Deception.
Huh?
Deception. Deception.
Deception.
Self-deception.
Deception. Self-deception. Illusion. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
All right. Then may I start something? We were talking about something yesterday which might be of interest. What has man made of himself during the last 2 million years? Or if it is too long a time ago, perhaps 2,500 years ago. From then on till now, what has man, whether he lives in the East, in the Asiatic world, including India, and the Western world, America, Europe, what has he made of himself? Have you ever thought about it? There's the whole Eastern world, India, which at one time exploded over the whole of Asia, spreading Buddhism in China and eventually in Japan. And the West, from the Greeks till now, there's these two races, two civilizations, two cultures. And what has man made of the West, of himself? And what has man made himself to be in the Asiatic world? So it's really not a division between the East and West. But what has man made of himself? You understand my question? You understand it? What has his mind has become, what his mind has become, what his whole emotional, affectionate love, what has that become? And his physical organism. You understand my question? That is, what has man made of himself during the last 2 millennia, or 3, 4? There is the Asiatic culture and the Western culture. They are both based on the movement of thought. Right? Right? During the last so many thousand years, tribalism still exists, even now. Tribalism, which is called nationalism. There have been wars, endless wars, perhaps more wars on this side of the world than on the other side. There have been a great deal of violence, which continues more and more to be violent. There has been division of people. Religion has almost put the mind in a straitjacket. And all the brutalities, the quarrels, the divisions, all that exist. What has man, you and I, human beings, have made of ourselves? You understand my question? We've technologically made tremendous progress. Man is more healthy. Perhaps the Eastern world is overpopulated. Man lives much longer. There's more comfort, easier transportation, easier means of communication. Better sanitary conditions. Apart from that external improvement, airplanes, cars, tanks, better machine guns, and all the scientific inventions and the explorations. Apart from that, what has man made of himself psychologically, inwardly? Do we ever ask that question? Or we're all concerned with the outer achievement? Better job, more money, a better career. So we're asking, what has man, who has lived for so long, what has he made of himself? So what are you making of yourself, apart from jobs and money, position, all that? What's inwardly, what are you? Are you so very different from the savages, prehistoric human beings who are angry, jealous, hating each other, killing each other? Psychologically, inwardly, we are very unhappy people, confused, uncertain, insecure. We've lost all sense of affection, care, love. Right? So what have we become? Perhaps we have more knowledge of the things of the earth and the air and our physical organisms. But we don't seem deeply inwardly to have changed it hardly at all. So what is progress? There is outward development, better so-called education, perhaps with maybe wider conditioning, and so on outwardly. Have we changed at all? Shouldn't we ask this question of ourselves, or is it too difficult to find an answer to it? Shouldn't we, as human beings with brains that have evolved through many centuries, we use that brain to destroy each other, to divide ourselves from other groups and other countries, other points of views, and so on and so on. Is it possible to have a different quality of mind so that we become really, deeply, highly excellent human beings? Have you ever thought about all this? Or are we all so concerned, occupied with jobs, money, position, getting married, house, children, all outward, comforts, everything out there? Will this ever bring about a different quality of mind? Different human being, a mind that's really good. We talked about goodness the other day. A mind that's not self-centered, that is not so utterly selfish, conceited, vain, arrogant, violent. Once after I've talked, you're going to discuss, we're going to have a dialogue. So I'm asking, though we have outwardly progressed, evolved, but inwardly we seem to remain as we were many thousand years ago. So what shall we do? You understand my question? What shall we do? And is it possible for you, for human beings, to deeply change?
Surely, sir, one must be aware that is the fact, first of all. Probably
probably many people would say that there have been certain relative changes or relative improvements. Even, for instance, slavery is almost abolished throughout the world as a
Slavery.
You could say there's economic oppression but slavery as such has been, for instance, abolished. So there's certain kinds of improvements.
That's against all outward expressions.
This was a corresponding inward movement because someone at some time saw that it was wrong simply to have a section of society who were merely slaves, and so someone saw that and set the ball rolling to change it, and it did change. So there have been certain changes.
So we are satisfied with that change. There have been little changes. One says, are we content with the little changes that we have made in ourselves and so in the world, both economically and so on and so on? Are we satisfied with all that? Or are we going to wait through another 1,000 years to bring about a little further change? Or is there a movement, not only in ourselves but also outwardly, a movement that is more concerned, which doesn't mean neglecting the outer, more concerned with the transformation of the human mind? Go on, sir.
Many people would ask what that means. How is that different from what we have? What do you mean by a transformation of the human mind?
What do I mean by?
How would that be different than what we have now?
What do you think?
Well, it would purely be conjecture on my part, or mostly conjecture.
No, I mean, how would you answer this, sir? If one is concerned, committed, involved with the total change of the human mind, with one's own mind, how would you set about it? What would you ask of yourself?
I suppose I would ask what would have to change? What aspects of it would have to change?
Organically, you can't change very much, right? Physically. Then what else is there? One can't have a third eye or a third arm or something else. But if that is not possible, then what areas, fields in which there is a possibility of change? The brain, the content of the brain, the whole structure of thought and its constant movement, and whether it is possible to have a relationship with others in which there is no possibility of any conflict. Won't you approach it that way? Whether a human being can live not only intimately with another, but a relationship that is not exclusive, that's not bound, personal, limited. If one has the right relationship with another, then you have right relationship with mankind. Is that possible? And how is one to, in what way one is to set about it? You understand my question? If I have a right relationship with my wife or my girl, with my friend, I have a right relationship with all human beings, right? Would you see that? Right? Now, how do I bring about this relationship with another in which there is not a shadow of conflict? Answer. Let's have a dialogue about it, not just let me talk. If I talk and then you just merely listen and gradually forget. But if you could exchange your ideas, your feelings, and talk about it, how would you, because you are going to have either marriage or boyfriend or whatever it is, how will you establish, even now, with your friend, so that there is no barrier? There is no sense of me first and you second. There is a sense of real communication, open to each other, to discuss, to have a dialogue, to go. You follow? How would you set about it?
Well, it seems that you can't set it about in a positive way, which means you can't really go and with some concept or whatever and start to bring it about.
How would you do it, sir? You must have a friend or... Is it possible for you, I'm not being personal, possible for you to have a relationship in which there is not a sense of me and you? You understand? We and they. To have a sense of relationship with another so that we can live together happily, sanely. Is that possible? Or is just an idea? You understand? That one should live that way. If one had a relationship with another, it is obvious one has a relationship with another, at whatever level that relationship be. Have you ever asked yourself, and so find out how to live a life, not only periodically and rare occasions, but all the time, to have no sense of selfish, self-centered pursuits. Go on, sir, discuss. The one?
I think the main barrier is that we're so afraid to expose ourselves.
You make barriers and so afraid to expose ourselves. Why does one make barriers? You investigate. Why do I have barriers? What are barriers? How has that come into my being? Is it based on like and dislike? Is it based on reward and punishment? Is it based on judgment? My judgment opposed to your judgment? My value opposed to your value? My taste contrary to yours? And who creates these barriers? One says one has these barriers. National, the whole thing, barrier, various forms and types, colors of barriers. Who has made them?
It's the process of my thinking that makes it.
You are saying thinking makes these barriers.
It's sort of the automatic process of thinking you're not aware of.
Yeah, automatic thinking creates these barriers instantly. Is that so? I'm not saying it is not or it is. We are investigating. You are saying that thought creates these barriers. Why does it create?
Fear.
Huh?
Fear
Fear.
makes it create all these barriers when meeting other people or any situation.
So you are saying, sir, fear creates these barriers. Why? Why is there fear? Go think it out, go on.
But we've been told since a very long time that some things must not be told, that we must hide some things because they are bad. So therefore we make barriers.
Yes. So what?
Well, it's a fear to expose yourself.
Huh?
It's a fear to expose yourself.
No. First of all, do you know you have barriers?
Yes.
Huh? And do you know the kind of barriers you have? Huh? Are you sure? The kind. What kind they are? Are they physical barriers? I don't like, one doesn't like the looks of another. You might prefer a tall person to a short person. One may not have bathed properly, there is a slight smell. And perhaps that you won't like. Is it purely physical? Or is it much more psychological?
It's more psychological.
Huh?
It's more psychological.
Psychological. Why does psychological movement or psychological state create these barriers? Because you say it's psychological movement that creates these barriers. What is the psychological thing called psychological? What is it?
It's your own judgment. It's the way you judge the other person.
Is it your judgment? Is the psyche, you understand what I mean? The inward thing, is that all judgment?
Thought.
Is it all values, opinions, conclusions, ideals? And who has created these ideals, these conclusions, these opinions, these points of view, judgments? Who has created them?
Memory has created them.
Huh?
Memory.
Memory has created some. Experience have created some. Knowledge which has been handed down from generation to generation have created that. Right? That is your father, your mother, or your grandfather, so on in the past. They have said, do this, don't do that, you must be like this, you must not be like that. You must, etc., etc. So that has also part of the barrier. So we are saying, the past with all its knowledge, the past with all its experience, the past with all the memories, that is the psyche, that's the essence of the psyche, right? The past, the conclusions, the ideas, the ideals, the experiences, the impressions, the pressures, all that has created this quality that has barriers. Is that what you're saying? Or am I saying that?
Wow.
No, be quite sure that you are saying it, not I am saying it. Because if you are saying it, you have thought it out. It's your discovery. You find it out, therefore it is actual. Not, if I tell you, it won't be actual. But if you find it, it will be really actual. From there you can move. You understand? But if you accept what the speaker is saying, and then try to conform your idea, your way of thinking to that, then it's still another barrier. You get it? Whereas if you say, yes, that is so, I've found that, then it will be a fact, and from there you move further. You can only take as a fact that which is actually happening, right? So we are all saying together, not I'm saying and you accept, which would be silly, are we all saying together that we are made up of these things, knowledge from the past, experiences not only ours, but experiences handed down by the race, by the father, mother, and so on. Knowledge, experience, and vast accumulation of memories. Right? I am a Hindu, you are a Christian, I am a Jew, you are a Buddhist, you follow? I am British, I'm not, sorry, I am whatever it is, and you are something else. So it goes on. That creates this sense of division. Right?
Well, I don't think it's only that. I think it's what is part of it is that we put this knowledge upon an absolute level.
Yes, sir.
Take it for granted.
Yes, knowledge has become supreme, or more knowledge, less knowledge. I use the word knowledge to include all that. So, are these the barriers? Think it out carefully. Go into it by yourself. We'll help each other. But find out for yourself.
Well, I think barriers are created when each person has his point of view and he's afraid to express it to the other.
Yes. I hold on to my point of view, my knowledge, my experience, my memories. Watch it carefully. And you hold on to your knowledge, your experiences, your memories. Right? Does that create division?
Yes.
No, careful. Go. Don't.
I can see.
So go slowly. Think it out carefully. Or there is another factor which really is another factor that brings about division. I'm just asking, I'm not saying there is. You have your memories, your experiences, your knowledge, handed down to you, partly or mostly. And it's the same with me or with another. Judgments, opinions, conclusions, ideas, ideals, beliefs. Follow it carefully. And you do the same.
So it's the fear.
First, don't go off into fear yet. Just watch it first. Is that so? Is that the factor that divides human beings?
I think it's that each person has his own opinion, and he's not willing to listen to the other. So there's no change. There's no give between each person. So then a barrier is made.
If your knowledge is common with mine, your experience is equal to mine, your memories are the same as mine, your judgments, your ideals, your conclusions, all that same as mine, would we still be divided?
Possibly.
Don't say possibly. That's no answer.
Krishnaji, is there something in me that is not any of this? That is not something that has been handed down from the past? That is not...
Is there something in one that is not related to any of this? Right? That is something totally original. Untouched. Pristine. So, right? Or is that just a happy hope?
What do you mean by happy home?
There's something in me that you can't touch. Nobody has touched. It's a lovely idea. But is that a fact?
Well, I think we should we should try to find out about the previous question you asked.
What?
We should find out about the previous question you asked.
The previous question I asked was, are these the factors that divide us?
No.
Wait, sir, let me
you
think.
asked a different question.
What did I ask?
There was if my opinions are the same as your opinions.
Is my views as same as yours? My experience, my knowledge is same as yours? Would we have a division?
I think
Would there be barriers?
Yes, I think, no, not, maybe not us, but we would be divided from other people.
I know, because they don't agree with us.
Right.
No, go slow. I'm talking. That is, what if these are the factors that my opinions, my judgments, my evaluations, my experience, my knowledge, my memories, my remembrances are the same as yours, then you and I, in us there are no barriers. Is that it?
Yeah, that may, yes.
Huh?
Yes, yes.
But I think there is a problem there, because I can know the values that I think I have and try to get other or to change them. But the problem is to really know what I am when there is a crisis, and not what values I think I have, and how am I to see that difference? Because we can continue speaking about the value I think I have, but when there is something that is wrong, I act in a different manner than the manner I thought I have to act. I think I have to act. So am I different than what I think I am?
Krishnaji, he said that if we had the same opinions and the same knowledge and the same experiences, that there would not be conflict. I think that there probably would be, as long as there is a sense of me that's different from you.
Yes, the me is my experience, my ideals, my memories, my conclusions, my opinions, my hopes, my depressions, my anxiety. And you are the same. You have got all these. And I'm asking, does this common factor does that bring about division? Even though we see it, we understand, yes, I have got the same things as you have. Or is there a much deeper factor which really creates this division? I'm asking.
Well, do you mean the particular opinions are the same, or do you think, or are you saying that we do have opinions, both of us?
Does opinions create division? Or I don't want to. I don't want to help you. You go into it.
Although I have the same opinions as my friend and the same, more or less same character and all that, I still have the love for myself.
Which means what? Go into it, dear. Go into it. Don't say myself. You have opinions, haven't you? Judgments, values, and so on and so on. I can't. If you are not attached to them, what happens?
You're open to see the opinions of the others.
If you're not attached to your opinion, you say, yes, I think that, but I may be wrong. You follow? Not attached. Hold on. Cling to.
But that isn't the fact, Christian. The fact is that we're already motivated.
Huh?
The fact is that we're already motivated.
Yes, we're already motivated.
And the opinion and the particular memory is a kind of reinforcement of that, and also the pursuit of knowledge is a further reinforcement.
Yes,
of it.
I understand, sir, but if I'm not attached to my knowledge, to the knowledge which I have acquired, to the opinions, ideals, beliefs, to the experience, all the vast remembrances of 50 years or 80 years, I'm not attached to them.
No,
watch it, sir. If you're not attached, will that create barriers?
No, it's just if you cling to it.
Huh?
If you cling to your opinions and don't let go of them, then you can't. You have no energy to find out about the other things.
So if you're not attached, you're free from them.
Exactly.
So is that the factor, attachment, clinging on to something, holding on, is that what creates barriers? Go on, sir, think it out. Then why does the mind attach itself to them? Why does my mind, hold on to my belief, my opinion? Why? Answer you. Think it out.
For security.
Huh?
Security.
Security. What do you mean by that word?
If somebody else has something to say, then about your opinion.
No, I'm asking, what do you mean by that word security?
A sense of
feeling safe.
Yes.
Protected. Certain. Right?
If you don't mind, it's also helps you. If somebody else opposes your opinions, you feel threatened.
You feel threatened.
Yes.
Therefore, that's what I mean. You hold on to your opinions, cling to them, hoping to have security in them. Right?
Yes.
Now, what do you mean by that word security? You live in a room, it's secure. You're not exposed to the winds, rains, and colds. You're secure there. You're secure if you have one thinks one is secure if you have a good bank account. Or if one feels secure to belonging to a particular group, particular community, particular nation. You feel secure if all of us believe in the same thing. You feel certain there is no fear, no anxiety, that if we all say God is all with me, with you, and we're all godly. You follow? So, are you using the word secure in the sense of being protected, being certain, safe, no sense of threat? Is that possible?
Well, it seems to work in certain fields.
What?
It seems to work in certain fields.
In what fields?
Well, for instance, being at Brockwood and knowing that the opinions of people around me don't don't clash too much with
Yes,
my opinions.
either you are
gives me
indifferent.
Quite a good feeling.
Yes, either you are indifferent to other people's opinions, other people's judgments, because you feel my own opinion is much better than all the lot of them. But somebody else comes on and says your opinions are not as good as,
Yes, and then
and you so wait, watch it, sir. Don't be quick. So what are you doing? You are protecting your own judgments, right? That is, you are holding on to them and hoping in that, clinging to, being attached to your opinions and so on, you will find security. Right? Is there security in opinions? Is there security in the sense where you use that word? Is there security in your judgment? In your belief? In your ideals?
Just so long as somebody doesn't come along and stimulate that thing.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you... So we are asking, is the factor of attachment, you understand what I mean, the word attachment? Holding on, clinging, not letting go, not being free. So is this attachment that creates division, that creates barriers, that creates conflict? What do you say? You're all somewhere else.
Surely, sir, that there's something which precedes the attachment.
What's that?
There's something that precedes the attachment.
Which is what?
Which is the sense of a separate identity.
How is that separate identity created? Who has created this separate identity? Identity with what?
Well, it's identity with, for instance, each of us has a name. That name is the name of a family.
Yes, the attachment to the name, to the family, but it's still attachment. No? I'm attached to my name. I'm attached to my looks. I'm attached to my family's tradition. I'm attached to my father, my mother. I'm attached to my... Right?
I'm suggesting one is prior and therefore possibly deeper than the other. So the sense of a separate identity is prior and possibly deeper than the other.
I'm questioning if there is a previous identity. I'm not saying it doesn't exist or it exists. I'm asking, is there previous identity at all? Identity with what?
Well, even to say that I have a family and I have a name, we say that there is an I.
Yes, what is that I?
Well, that seems to be, I think what Stephen was saying, was something that comes before the attachments.
Why do you say it comes before?
Well, because your attachments grew out of it. Because there's a sense of the seemingly very early on in life, this sense of identity is created through the family, through the larger group, through the nation. This sense of identity is created.
So identity implies security.
What the word identity actually means is, I
To
believe,
identify.
always the same.
Huh?
I believe the word identity means always the same.
Yes, always the
and
same.
And we have this sense that there is something in us which is always the same.
That is, I am attached to... No, just a minute, sir. I am attached to something which I hope will always be the same.
No, I am something that is always the same.
I am something.
I am the thing which is always the same, the I.
Wait, what is this I? Don't let the old people get away with it.
I don't think this I is old or young, sir.
And don't let the old people...
Krishnaji, this is the point that I was trying to bring up earlier. We think that there is something in us that is other than all the thoughts and from the psyche.
Still, you hope there is something deeper, wider. In that you hope there is security. Or you say that's permanently in me. Right? You see, you are saying identity exists because we want the same thing to continue, right? My belief, my knowledge, my experience to continue all the time, increasing or decreasing, but it's my experience. Because I hope and pray and long for this to continue without any disturbance.
That's in the genetic structure of mankind, Krishnaji.
What?
That's in the genetic structure of mankind.
Yes, sir.
So every person doesn't think it out for himself. It comes about, so to speak, automatically.
Yes, that's what. Why do we accept this?
Well, it's not a question of accepting it, it's there.
No, why is it there? I don't accept it, but I say question it. Why should I have this desire for the continuity of the same thing?
Well, apparently you don't, if I may say so.
I don't, but leave me alone. I'm asking.
But we see, in our thinking, we believe that it is something that actually exists. We don't want to create it. We don't want it to be there. I mean, implied in the sense of self is that it does exist. It's a reality.
Yes.
Whether or not that's a deception is another question. But we might be born with it. It might be created when we are very young. But we think it's really there.
What do you say to that? What do you say to that?
I understand what you're talking about.
You don't understand the question?
No, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Who is talking about?
Well, what...
Caught out. My question still remains unanswered. Detachment and attachment. Attachment to something that I want to continue. Right? I live in this house. It has given me, it's a nice room and all. I'm attached to it. Because I feel comfortable there. I'm undisturbed. I can go away from all the noise and all that, come back to this room and close myself in. And I hope that will go on for the rest of my life. I'm attached to that. I'm identified myself with the room, with the furniture, with the carpet, with the pictures, with the clock, with the bureau, with the... Right. Is that what separates me and you? You are attached to your room, to your... I'm attached to mine. I'm attached to my belief and you're attached to your belief. You're attached to your experience and we want this, the continuation of this. No breaking up of it. And so I'm British. After all, Britain has existed for so many centuries. I'm British. I say, before Britain existed, India existed. I'm Indian. I'm attached to that. The idea of being older, you follow the also attachment. Is that what divides us? Are you all here? Good. Is that what divides us? Ravi, come on. You want your career, and you're going to have a good career, you work for it and cling to it. And I want the same career as you, but I'm probably better than you, so we quarrel. We divide, right? Go on, sirs, investigate. If there is no attachment at all, would there be no division? Would there still be a division? Answer it. If I'm not attached to my name, my form, my memories, my remembrances, my experiences, my furniture, my gods, my beliefs, I'm not attached, I'm free. What?
So it's easier to be attached than to think to change your opinion.
Yeah, so it's easier to be attached, which means easier to remain in the things that I have, in the things I've acquired, in the things I have experienced. So what does that mean? Think it out. What does it mean?
It seems the very nature of thought, of thinking, has in it this movement towards security.
Yes, sir. That's what that comes a little further. I want to go into step by step. I'm asking you if one is not attached to anything which has no identity, which means a continuity of the same thing, then would there be divisions? Would I have a better relationship with my wife, with my husband, with my girl, with my neighbor? I have no attachment of any kind. My neighbor has. Right? All right, what of it? I can't change him. Unless he wants to discuss with me, go into it. I can't change it. But I see I can live without conflict. Right? Perhaps he will listen to me one day and say, "But how is it to live like this?" And I'll go into it. If he wants to listen, I'll talk to him. Or we...
Excuse me. If he tries to step on you,
what?
If he tries to step on you because you have no more
Yes,
attachment.
if he tries to step on me, what am I to do? Go on, answer this. You're all going to face all this. My neighbor begins to say you calls me names and say you're just an idiot. You're living in an illusion. You're not free from attachment. He begins to tread on me. Perhaps not physically, because law protects me. Law in courts. So what shall I do? Careful now. I am not attached.
So,
what is he attacking me?
So he is afraid that perhaps there is something in not being attached.
Which means
so
I am a danger. I am a danger.
So he's attacking you to
That's right, sir.
think that you might push you away.
Because my very existence is a threat to you. Because I have no opinions. I am detached. So you're frightened. Right? So what takes place? Psychologically. Think it out, watch it. You know what happens in history. Either you kill it, or you worship it. Right? If I don't understand you, and you're important, I try to damage you. Or say, I can't damage you, therefore I respect you. You understand? So, follow it also. I'm asking you, is it possible to live together without any shadow of conflict? And conflict exists only when I'm attached. Right? Will you live that way? Will you live that way? Otherwise, just words. We have a good intellectual or verbal argument and dialogue, but that's worthless. Right? But if you say, look, I'm going to live that way, I understand this. I'm going to change my life and not be attached to a thing. Does the non-attachment, does it mean carelessness? You follow?
It means to observe and see if it's relevant.
Huh?
It means to observe, or to be open.
No, I'm not open. I'm free. I'm not a sieve into which you can pour things in. I'm a free person. I'm not attached. Can you live that way?
Well,
work it out, sir. Find out whether you can live daily without a single sense of attachment.
But every movement that you make is based on attachment and judgment.
Is it? If it is, if you are in judgment, if you are attached to your judgment, drop it. Because you cannot then live without conflict.
So you have to be alone.
Huh?
You have to be alone.
Alone.
Alone means all one. I'm not. If one is free, it doesn't mean one has to be alone. Loneliness is another form of being attached to something from which you have been deprived. One has been deprived of this relationship or that relationship and suddenly find yourself lonely. We won't enter into that for the moment. Now, we ought to stop. Now, will you please consider what we have discussed this morning? Seriously. Will you drop your any kind of attachment? One or two attachments. Just drop them. See what happens.
It's easy to say, but to do,
Huh?
It's easy to say it, just drop it, but still it's...
It is easy to say, I agree. But will you do it after this discussion? Which means you have very carefully followed step by step. You have understood, as long as you are attached to something in which you hope will endure, last, as long as that feeling, that state exists, you cannot possibly live without conflict. And if you want to live in conflict, it's all right. That's what most 99% of the people do. It's all right. But realize it. See it. Either you want to live that way or this way. It's up to you. So you exercise your own judgment, your own opinion. Or you say, look, let's see which is the happiest, true way of living. Ravi is calculating. He's really weighing. Where are we after this morning? What will you do? I'm sorry to push you into a corner. I'm going to push you into a corner.
Well, I think it will make a tremendous difference if we play around with it, actually.
Huh?
I think it will make a tremendous difference if we play around with it, if we really try to drop our opinions.
Will you?
Well, yes, I will try.
Don't try. That's what all the people say, I'll try, and never do. Either you do it or don't do it.
Okay.
Not okay.
Shinji, the thing that, excuse me, I don't know if you want to stop.
You should stop, sir. What will
I was going to say the thing that concerns me is that we listen to what you say and we therefore get an idea of what non-attachment is.
This is not what I am saying. This is what you are discovering for yourself. That's what I said to you. Unless you discover this, unless this is so to you, don't accept it. Don't repeat something which you yourself have not seen. Otherwise you merely become a second-hand human being. Right? Should we stop now? Huh?
Yes.
Yes.